Hello, I'm Matthias Anderson, and we're here with another live stream from Author Summit 2022 at Pluralsight headquarters. So today I have with me Joe and Matt, and we're going to talk with you about the Cloud Happy campaign, but also something very interesting that Joe has come up with and challenged the rest of us with. But let's start with some introductions. Matt, do you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. Hey, everyone. My name is Matthew Layson. I am a principal training architect at Pluralsight, focusing specifically on Microsoft Azure.
And I'm Joe Lowery, Senior Training Architect at Pluralsight, and I specialize in Google Cloud.
Awesome. Well, I have also background in AWS, so we've got three clouds covered here. Joe, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Cloud Happy campaign and what it is you've done?
Sure. So the Pluralsight has this really amazing offer, I think, and I say in my LinkedIn post that I would be framing it that way even if I didn't work for them. But now they started at the end of August, I believe, August 29th, and it's running through the end of the year, this program that allows anyone to take actually all of the 5 courses that are being offered. There are 3 foundational courses, one for each of the major platforms, and 2 additional courses, one on Terraform and the other one's on
Kubernetes.
Kubernetes, right. And when I first heard about Cloud Happy, I was thinking about it and it really appealed to me just in terms of the whole multi-cloud approach. And I've long thought that that's kind of the direction that the industry is going. And I especially feel that that's what Google does when it comes to their exams and just their whole way of framing things. It is what I think of as a real world approach. They know that they're not the sole cloud vendor out there and that many companies are going multi-cloud. So I looked at these foundational offerings that Pluralsight is making available to everyone, and I thought, I want to learn more than Google Cloud. I want to learn about AWS. I want to learn about Azure. I want to learn how to be a multi-cloud enthusiast and practitioner. And so I came up with this idea for a challenge that I would put out there on LinkedIn and see who was willing to go along with me and get all 3 certifications or some combination of them over this period till the end of the year, and see what was possible and how many people we could advance into this new frontier, this new platform, this new overarching platform that allowed folks to not only specialize in their own their own specific platform, but understand the benefit for going multi-cloud.
I love it. Yeah, so just to recap a little bit, the campaign that's going on has 5 different certifications that are being targeted, and we're giving the training material for all 5 of those. The AWS Cloud Practitioner, the AZ900 Azure Fundamentals, the Google Cloud Digital Leader,
right,
which is your course actually, which
right,
is definitely a great thing to take advantage of in this program. Also, there's a Kubernetes cert, like you mentioned, and then the Terraform. So all 5 of those, and if whichever one of those you choose, you'll get additional support in the form of weekly emails to guide you through the learning journey, basically, that anyone can do this. You can jump in and be supported. We have events that we've got planned to support people through this process. We have a Discord channel with a lot of people there that are willing to help. So I just wanted to set some context for that. But now, back to this challenge. So you put the challenge down, threw the gauntlet down, as it were. You put the challenge out.
The haptic glove. What do you mean?
The gauntlet. Yeah, of course. So how's it been going? What's been the response?
It's been really phenomenal. So this is sparking off of the Cloud Happy campaign.
Right.
I came up with the Multi-Cloud of Happiness Challenge. And And so far we have, I think, maybe about a dozen people who have signed on for the challenge. More are always welcome. We have a good number of other fellow training architects coming from Pluralsight, but also folks in the general community, which is just fantastic to see that happening. And The campaign itself, or the post itself, has had almost 40,000 impressions at this point. So it's really doing quite well, and I'm just super excited. And the other thing I want to say is that I plan on documenting my journey over the next couple of months and talking about hopefully the highs more than the lows, but I'm going to cover the lows too, because it is a journey, and it is something that is not easily undertaken, hence the challenge.
Yeah. So Matt, you've seen this challenge as well. You've responded. What's your situation with this? How are you taking on this challenge?
So my situation right now, I already have 2 of the 3 requisites. So I have prior Google Cloud and Azure experience. That's where I'm pretty strong at. The other 3, I'm actually not quite as strong as I want to be, which would be specifically the Terraform Associate certification, Kubernetes in general, and also AWS. So I decided, hey, it's time to check off all those items that have been on my to-do list for years. And this nice little encouraging kick in the rear to do so. So I'm actually currently going through our Terraform material that's available on the site. So I'm targeting the Terraform Associate certification, I believe it's called first. I can't really tell how long it's going to take me, maybe about a month or so. And then after that, I'm probably going to start dipping my toes into the AWS waters with the CCP certification, and then decide if I want to tackle the Kubernetes cert from there. Kind of get that whole well-rounded out. And I kind of like how this is focusing on not just the main 3 cloud vendors, but also those foundational cross-cloud technologies that are vendor neutral. Terraform, Kubernetes pops up everywhere. Intimidating topics, especially Kubernetes, in my opinion. So that'd be a good encouragement to kind of tackle that. Make yourself valuable on any cloud technologies, regardless of which ones you actually focus on. So I think bundling those 2 in is a really great add.
Yeah. So you're starting with the Terraform one, which is by itself a multi-cloud technology, right? Like as you were getting at.
Exactly.
It's infrastructure as code for those who might not know, so that you can create a template in Terraform's language, and then that template can be put to use in potentially a number of different clouds.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is a really valuable thing. How much experience do you have with Terraform before this?
I have novice level. I just went through some introduction to Terraform type courses, make a Terraform template on whatever cloud vendor you're familiar with, kind of getting into the bit about modules and variables. So I wouldn't say I was completely new with it, but I never actually dove in deep on it, just beyond the kind of, okay, this is what it does. This is like some very basic scripts. It's always been one of those things where you kind of start lightly working with it, but then you get distracted with something else and just kind of stacks up on the never completed list. So it's good encouragement to circle back to that and really focus and double down on that.
Well, with some things like this, it's like it almost is like you only learn it when you need to learn it. So
Exactly.
if you were working on something and said, okay, I really need Terraform for this project, then I'll go tackle Terraform. But now with this, you have the opportunity to get that foundational knowledge ahead of time.
And I think a really good way of looking at it is, let's think of someone who's wanting to get into a cloud engineer role for the first time. They're like, where do I start? And I think kind of how this little group of courses we have here, it's like the foundations you need regardless of where you go. Of course, you got the vendor-specific ones, but I mean Terraform and Kubernetes. If you want to get like a cloud engineer or a cloud architect job, all of them are going to require both of those skills. So if that's a career route that you're wanting to go, Terraform and Kubernetes are always going to really be beneficial for you, just from a general career growth perspective.
That's right. But it's not only just for engineers. I mean, especially the 3 foundational certs are really valuable to anyone who's in the industry. And I think that's something that we've seen time and time again where, and we've talked about it here at the Author Summit in some of our keynote sections. This area of tech is something that is just all the companies want all the employees to have some foundational knowledge on cloud computing generally, and the more specific you can have, the better off you are.
A question I've been asked frequently over the years is not so much from people in the cloud engineering side, but people who are sales managers, customer engineers, who they don't need a certification to dive really deep into the weeds. They just need to know the basics of that cloud vendor before they start selling it. Exactly. And those 3 vendor-specific ones are perfect for that high level, here's how, this specific cloud vendor can help solve these business problems, big emphasis on solving biggest business problems, which they can then arm themselves to talk the appropriate scope level of language to be able to, sell to whoever else. I would say that maybe the Terraform and Kubernetes ones are a bit more in the weeds, but I would say that the 3 cloud-specific certifications are very high level, very equip you with the knowledge that you need to for really a variety of roles.
And I don't know how, I just came off of creating the Google Cloud Digital Certified Cloud Digital Leader. It's cloud.
It's a mouthful, yeah.
Course. And in their materials, one of the things that I was really impressed with is Google really emphasized the whole notion of digital transformation. And this is something that everybody can take away a win from. I'm not sure how the AWS and Azure side of things handle it, but all of that moment of where we are in history and what the pros are and what the cons are and what you'll lose if you do not have this information and be able to move forward with it. I think it's really important for folks to know.
It really is. Honestly, there's so much value in this technology that when people don't understand it at not just like I know it exists and I know that I can press some buttons level, but at this is how it actually functions and how it solves problems, as you were mentioning, business problems level. If they don't understand it like that, they're going to be making bad decisions in many cases, not knowing that they're bad decisions, but bad decisions around how to use technology. So I think that foundational awareness, understanding, lets them speak the language of cloud and understand how it's a very different type of technology, a new way of doing technology than it was before, so they can make better decisions, make better use of it, even if they're not the ones like you guys have been mentioning that are certified at the detailed level and really digging in. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of value. I'll echo the same thing, I guess, for everyone who has the time to jump in. And if you don't feel like you have the time, we've tried to set things up so that you don't have to worry as much about the time. We've been trying to make it as easy as we can for you to take a chunk at a time. So
that's right. And you're not committed. It is a challenge to do as much of it as you can, but you're certainly not committed in any way, shape, or form to. No. There's no mandate for you to do it. It's a personal challenge.
It's like group encouragement.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And one of the things that, what was it I was just going to say? It's, ran away from my head. No clue.
No worries. No worries.
I'm challenged in that way. That's all I can say.
Oh, one of the things that you mentioned earlier was that the Cloud Happy campaign started on the end of August. Yeah. But I wanted to make sure to reassure people that jumping in now is actually fine. This is it's not too late because when you do jump in, you'll start then the weekly emails. You'll start where you're at, and you're not you haven't fallen behind just because it's been a bit of time so far.
And I did remember what it was I was going to mention. So one of those helpful aids is we have office hours twice a month and on each of the courses where folks can come and ask questions and talk about their experiences and what they're trying to do in that particular certification or course. So we're there for you to help you along this way. We want you to succeed.
Yeah.
And it's all part of lifting all boats.
So for the study hours, just last week, both Joe and myself were on our Pluralsight Discord channel for an hour-long stint just for office hours as an audio channel. For myself, I was on the office hours for the AZ900 exam. And during that hour, anyone could just come in, ask questions, chit-chat, really kind of talk about career aspirations. Joe had his last week as well. As far as the scheduling goes, I don't have that in front of me, but keep a lookout on LinkedIn from the Pluralsight and also the A Cloud Guru channel. They usually advertise when the next study sessions are for each of the 5 certifications that we're dealing with. There's going to be another one for all 5 of them later on in September. Again, I don't have them in front of me, but keep a lookout for those office hours, and we'll be there for an hour just ready to chat with you about any questions on the exam or what you want to do with your particular domain focus or really whatever else.
Right. And you don't have to wait for those office hours. We're available on our Discord channel and through LinkedIn for any questions or comments any feedback that you have if you've taken some of the courses. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that this is free, like you were mentioning at the beginning, we'd be happy to tell people about this, even if we weren't working for Pluralsight, right? Like this is a really honestly valuable thing for people to take advantage of, and all of the extra support things like you've been mentioning, those are real value for people. So I would highly encourage you to take advantage of it.
So Matthias, where are you in your multi-cloud journey?
Well, I know the GCP world and the AWS world, but I have also, as you were mentioning, Matt, had a to-do list of I should really learn Azure for quite some time. Yours is not Azure, mine has been Azure, yours has been some other things. So that's where I'm going next. I'm going to take a look at Azure, and I hope to also get that all done during this time frame.
So I have a bit of a question. So I'm on the GCP side at this point. I'm interested, and I'm going to do both Azure and AWS. Which one should I tackle first?
Azure or AWS? I mean, I have the background in the AWS side.
Yes.
You've got the background in the Azure side, so
duke it out.
Yeah.
Flip a coin. Do one, then do the other.
Yeah. Which one should he start with? Well, one of them.
Thank
you should
you,
start
Solomon.
with one of them.
Thank you, Solomon, for that judgment.
Honestly, I think that you could go with either of them and you'd have a great experience, because these are all such valuable things. Like all three of these certs are really valuable, and I don't think you'll go wrong with any of them.
Right. Since we do all have knowledge of all of these combined, I wonder what the thought is in terms of what are the relative difficulties of their various certifications?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I can compare the Cloud Digital Leader with the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, and I would say that the Cloud Digital Leader is a harder exam. It's more general, as you were mentioning. But so it being more general means that it applies in value to more than just Google Cloud. But I think it's a deeper exam than the AWS one is. All of them are valuable, though.
Right.
How would you describe the AZ900 based on what you've heard?
I would describe the 900 as about the same level as a CCP from what I've heard before. Someone who has maybe just enough technical knowledge can probably study for it in about a month, maybe even less if they're kind of familiar with the principles of cloud technology. Again, it's very high level. This is what a virtual machine is. These are the different managed database offerings, so on and so forth, and kind of learn how Microsoft does their spin on different cloud technologies on the Azure side.
Right. And all of our certification courses have practice exams that are available so that you can try your knowledge out. And we have multiple practice exams. The Cloud Digital Leader has 3 different practice exams. I'm not sure if the other 2 have 3 or more. A lot.
Just to be clear, I'm not sure which practice exams might be included in the Cloud Happy program or not. But there are definitely a lot of supports. And if people do decide also to upgrade, then there are labs as well that they can jump into and have risk managed learning environments to target certain things. So there's a lot of stuff around it. But even with just the stuff that's offered for free, a lot of people can definitely succeed. So, so definitely a valuable thing. Do either of you have something that last parting thoughts that you want to add to this? Encouragement to people, or?
Definitely jump on our office hours if you're available. I mean, it's really an opportunity to chat live with the people who made the courses and are most familiar with them. So if you got a question about the course, well, you're talking to the person who made the course. So it's kind of getting info straight from the horse's mouth.
Right. And we'll have the link to the original LinkedIn post in the description, so you can check that out for more details, and perhaps take a look at this graphic that I created that depicts the multi-cloud of happiness challenge, which I have to say I had an absolute blast creating in Photoshop.
It is very impressive.
You definitely need to check that out. Check it out. It is hilarious. So yeah. Thank you for that. Yes. Any other things, or I think we wrap it up there?
Great talking to both of you guys.
It was great to see you both in person. I know we've often been doing things together, but it's mostly been virtual, and to do this in the same room has been a great thing. So great to get together with both of you, and thank you so much for joining me on this stream.
Absolutely, Matthias.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us for this stream as well. So I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. We're going to do one more live stream here from Author Summit, and then I think it'll be a wrap. So stay tuned for that. But have a great day, everyone.
See ya.